Actually, I don't. Okay. I was thinking about this. I had to slap this together. So, forgive the gorilla bullshit. I read that, and I saw a picture, so I know it's not bullshit. There may be some extravagant expanding upon the story, but the picture doesn't lie. It's a picture of the Pope, the Pontiff, kissing the feet of a young Muslim. Ugh. Now, let me give you a little backstory. I'm not quite up to date on all my specific dates and years, but I seem to remember a reading of a few events in human history that, to put it simply, Islam was and still is responsible for quite a few, more than a few, Christian deaths. And for those that don't know, Christianity and Catholicism are branches of the same thing. They simply differ in ceremony and little insignificant things, but they both generally believe the same thing. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The problem I have is this. There is a worldwide religion figurehead. I'll use that word. There is a worldwide religious figurehead, the Pontiff, the Pope, the leader of the leader of some 1.5 to 1.6 billion Catholics, kissing the feet of someone whose religion that dominates their daily life. Okay? He's kissing the feet of a person whose religion views him as what? What's the word? Infidel. Now, I'm not quite up to not up to the etymology of the word. I got the etymology of the word. It's the word infidel is quite similar to the word inferior, and at least I think they are probably very connected in some way. Now, even if they're not actually connected in a definition, they are associated with each other. Infidel, inferior to. See? And I understand that Christianity, Catholicism. I'm going to use the phrase. I'm going to use the word Christianity from here on out. But I'm referring to Catholicism. Has a certain amount of, humility you must have. You must project and believe in yourself to a certain. You must be humble to a certain extent. Pride is a sin. So, but to kiss the feet of someone who believes that you don't deserve God's love as much as they do, they see you as an infidel. That is not a slang term. That is not a racial term. That is not a derogatory term. Islam has a direct word for non-Muslims. They've categorized us in a way that they don't want to be categorized. They came up with a specific word for us, infidel. Now, I don't know if that's the Arabic term for it, but the point is still the same. Kissing the feet of someone who believes that you do not deserve God's love as much as they do at the very best. You're taking 1.5 to 1.6 billion Catholics, and you're also spitting in the eyes of all the Christians by doing so, Pope. Now, me personally, I see what they do in daily life. and myself, if I found out by some for sure sense that God favored Muslims, you'd see me with 666 tattooed across my forehead. I would disown God before I would respect that religion. Now, the phrase, there's good and bad in every race, not true. There's good and bad in every religion. Unfortunately, I have to admit there is some sensible, in a certain sense, to a certain extent, Muslims. Now, those are mainly modernized Muslims, but because the Quran itself, Quran, what the fuck ever, it in not so many words, it calls for the punishing, to use a nice word, of the infidels, of the non-believers. Let's put it this way. Islam does not practice tolerance whatsoever. And they call their God a kind and merciful God. Yet they call for the punishment of non-believers. Yeah. And you're kissing his feet. I'll make this short and sweet since this is getting a little longer than I wanted to, because I'm obviously not set up in any way, and I'm not reading from any kind of script. I'm not even reading from a list of points and that I want to hit, which is how I'd usually do this. The next time you see a Muslim couple, if you want to call them a couple, remember this, especially if you're a woman. He can beat her. And in their world, in Sharia law, whatever you want to say, well, however it's pronounced, as long as he doesn't raise his fist above the level of his chest, it's legal. He can beat her for not wanting to cook. He can beat her for not wanting to have sex that night. He can beat her for any reason he wants, almost. The next one is pretty fucked up. At the age of 6 to 8, I believe it's that age, it's generally accepted in the Muslim community when a father has sex with his daughter, I can't respect people like that. I can't. I can't. No. And anybody that does, they're condoning that. They're condoning child marriage. The Prophet Muhammad had a 9-year-old wife, I think. Many young wives in his 70s, late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s. That old man took the life away from a child, a little girl. And a man is allowed to, a boy is whatever, a boy who shops in men's clothing over in their religion is allowed to have more than one wife. Now, it doesn't matter if the person you talk to, oh, I don't believe in that, I'm a modern Muslim. It doesn't matter. You are what you associate with. Any religion that allows a man to take 2+ wives, but a woman's not allowed to deny sex at any time. No. No. I can't respect that. I would disown God if I knew for sure that he accepted Muslims. I would become an atheist like that. But, like I said, their God is a peaceful and merciful God, yet you are beheaded for stealing a loaf of bread. they'll defend it by, oh, it's only the fourth or fifth time. You're gonna behead somebody for stealing food for their families when it's confirmed that they themselves who stole it didn't need it. They gave it to a child of their own that was starving. And you're going to behead him at any amount of times. Jail him. Whip him. But behead him? No. How can you how can your God be merciful and loving and kind when you behead your own kind? Others too, but especially your own damn kind, for stealing food from a store to feed your child, and you don't even yourself eat it. I can't respect that. And getting back on topic, that's whose feet the Pope kissed. The man who is responsible for the souls of hundreds of millions of children, hundreds of millions of Catholic babies, kissed the feet of a person who is associated with that religion. Now, if you've watched this far, I'm surprised, but that's my point. He kissed the feet of a person who condones murder and extreme violence for minor offenses. Let me make this point and then I'm going to shut up. Someone who does not support the death penalty is capital punishment. How can you be associated with a Muslim whose very religion that dominates their life condones capital punishment for minor offenses? Sometimes the first offense, sometimes the sixth offense, it doesn't matter. And everywhere in between. They've done it for first. If they have a personal vendetta against that person, they go, that person's a piece of shit, they stole a loaf of bread, kill him. Boop, happens. They're very insightful. The little monkeys are very... They do what we call in America chimping out. So, and this is not even attached to the Brussels shit. This isn't attached to ISIS. None of that shit, which is all Muslim. How could the Pope kiss the feet of child marrying, woman beating, child beating, oppressive, murderous people? How? How? You tell me. You tell me. Anybody, any man out there, let me ask you this. If you were able to be outside your body for a second and saw yourself beating your wife for whatever reason, doesn't matter. Put it this way, unless she has a gun to my face or a knife to my throat, I'm not going to hit her. Those are the only two scenarios where I'd condone hitting a woman. Like I said, gun to the face or gun to you, with the gun to you, or a knife to your throat. Otherwise, no. Beating your wife, raping your own damn children. Could you stand yourself? Could you stand yourself? No, probably not. So why would you sit next to the guy who does? Or who can? Who has that option? Who accepts that option? I know I'm rambling on here, but I call myself rambling on. And I know I'm looking at the damn screen, it's a bad habit. But this is a jumbled mess, and if I even upload it, it's going to be a miracle with my patience and sense. but I had to get this recorded. That the Pope kissed the feet of someone who wishes him to not get to heaven before him, who sees him as lesser, who sees his religion as a joke. He kissed his feet for peace. You don't try to make peace with savages. You do one or both of two things. One, you prevent them from invading your country. Two, you take them out. For the good of your people to practice their religion in freedom. Here in America, our ancestors fought for freedoms that we enjoy today. They wish to take it away from us. I, for one, no. That won't happen in my life. But this has become too long, and it's completely unstructured, and the fact that if anyone watches this, I'm going to be amazed. So, alright, peace.